welcome to the Tower Coffee Hour in our series, Ballot Mueller 2022. I am your host, Ty Tyree, and today we're going to talk politics. Our democracy is built upon the groundwork of an informed and voting population. So we are working to provide the voters of Mueller information about the various races and people who are asking for your support. As part of our series, we are interviewing the people running for the offices we will talk about in this segment. There are 4 levels of government that make a difference in our lives: city, county, state, and federal. But there are really only 5 elected officials that you need to get to know and make sure they know you and what you stand for. Those 5 are your city council member, your county commissioner, your state representative, your state senator, and finally, your U.S. congressperson. You may notice I didn't put city mayor in there, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. And yes, there are a lot of other people running for various offices, but these 5 are the ones that make the most impact on your life and in your neighborhood. And they are the ones you can actually get to know and talk with. August 22nd is the last day to file to be on the ballot, so until then, we will not really know the full slate of candidates. The rest of this episode will look at the reasons we chose those 5 offices and who is asking for your vote in November. But first, let's talk about voting precincts and some of the inner workings of our government. Our voting precincts determine where we vote, and the boundaries are set by the county government. The county has 4 precincts, and the voting precincts are organized within those counties' precincts. Therefore, because we are in Precinct 1, our voting precinct starts with a 1. Mueller is actually split into 2 precincts along Zach Scott and Berkman. It really has very little meaning except, as I said, it determines where you normally vote on election day. One other important district, although it doesn't affect your vote, is the census tract. As of 2020 census, Mueller is now big enough to justify 2 different census tracts. These tracts determine how data is reported from the census and the between census reporting. Things like how you get to work, how many people are living in your house, and how much money you make. Okay, now we get all that stuff out of the way. Let's talk about the districts, the legislative districts that actually impact our lives. The first one is mayor. And the basic level of government, we elect a mayor at large and 10 city council members by district. The mayor and the council set policy, and the city manager actually operates the city. With a budget upwards of $2 billion, that takes a lot of people and a lot of oversight. But we don't really have a lot of impact on that. We have a lot of candidates in the mayor's race and in a nonpartisan race with no primary. That likely means we'll have runoff after the December election. Kirk Watson and Sally Israel are both running hard and are well qualified to hold the office. The other 3 candidates are not raising a lot of money or doing a lot of campaigning, so it'll be interesting to see how they show up. We've talked to Sally and have an appointment to talk with Kirk, so YouTube channel, you can find those interviews. City Council. Mueller is in District 9, which also includes downtown Austin and some areas south of the river. Our neighborhood is in the northeastern corner of District 9 and is bounded on the south and east by District 1, represented by Natasha Harper Madison, and on north by District 4, represented by Chico Vela. So who are the candidates in District 9? There are actually 8 people who've expressed interest or made a move to run in District 9. However, only 5 have raised money by the July reporting deadline. We've talked to 4 of those 5 and posted those interviews on the Tower Coffee Hour under the playlist Ballot Mueller. It looks like we'll talk to Linda Guerrero in September. The next level up is a county commissioner's court. There are 4 commissioners and a judge that sit on the county commissioner's court. They aren't really a court or a judge as we normally think of them, but that's Texas politics. Neither the judge or our Precinct 1 Commissioner Jeff Trevelyan are up for election in this cycle, so we won't talk about them very much. So it's state representative. We are in State House District 46, which just barely includes Mueller and goes a long way to the east and north. The candidates for state rep, there's 3 of them that have gotten through to the finals. There are 3 candidates. Cheryl Cole ran unopposed in the Democratic primary, as did Samuel Strasser in the Republican primary, and Thomas Cost in the Libertarian convention. Cole, as you probably know, is our current representative. She's a former member of the Austin City Council from District 1, just south of Miller, and has been our representative in the Texas legislature since 2019. She lives in Delwood, just a few steps from Miller. We'll talk about the other 2 candidates in a later episode. So, state senator. Each state senator represents an average of 940,000 residents. Half of the districts are elected every 2 years. Each senator serves for 4 years, except this year to reflect the redistricting. They'll all be running for election this year, and they will split between 2 and 4 year terms. Last election, the district included Bastrop, but due to redistricting, it is much more compact, and Miller is centered in the district. So who are the candidates? We have Sarah Eckhart, the incumbent, who's a Democrat, Stephen Haskett, a Libertarian, and Stephen Lutostans, who's an independent. And we'll talk about them more at length in a later episode. The U.S. House, we're in a new district. Every House district now covers about 767,000 residents. District 737 is one of only 7 new districts created after the 2020 census. District 35 is just across Manor Road from Miller, and Greg Kazar is running for Congress in that district. So the candidates in this district are 4. Lloyd Doggett, who's a Democrat, has been in Congress for a long time, but because they redistricted, he's having to run again as with no incumbency. Benjamin Override, who's an independent, Clark Patterson, who's a Libertarian, and Jenny Garcia Sharon, who got through the Republican primary. So, there you go. You may have been expecting to see the U.S. Senate race at this point, but I haven't shown the Senate race, as neither of the Texas Senate seats is up for election in this cycle. Right now, we are just 3 months away from the election, and we haven't had a chance to talk to all the candidates. When we do, we will report back and may make some recommendations as to who is our favorite and why. That's all for this episode of Ballot Miller 22. So be sure to subscribe to our channel down below and check back often so you don't miss any of the latest information about the election. Please like this episode and also send us comments about what you would like to see us cover. We are here for the residents and visitors of Miller.